Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are completely transforming the way you tackle reading. Look, if you've ever felt that absolute sheer frustration of just hitting a wall of unknown words in an assignment or test prep, you are exactly in the right place. We're diving deep into the foundational strategies of Chapter 1 vocabulary from our source text, and we're going to do it by taking on a brand new persona. Starting right now, you're a linguistic detective, fully equipped to crack the code of English reading comprehension. Think of this as your official detective's briefing. We're going to hit the passive reader problem, pack your investigator toolkit, establish a protocol for unknown words, map out the context clue constellation, decode some real case files, and ultimately achieve complete reading mastery. Let's get into it.
Section 1, the passive reader problem, shifting the mindset.
So think about it. When you hit a word you don't know, it's kind of like a roadblock, right? For a passive reader, that's a flat-out failure. They just stop, they get hit with that awful translation fatigue, and it's incredibly frustrating. But the active investigator, totally different story. They see that unknown word as a mystery that needs solving. They're in there with a pen, hunting down the context, which literally leads to intellectual empowerment. You have a choice here. You can let the text defeat you, or you can pick up your pen and investigate.
Section 2, preparing your investigator toolkit. The setup. Look, reading comprehension isn't some magical talent you're just born with. It's an actual, repeatable system. And it kicks off with the 3 Ps of preparation. First up is passion. You gotta read about things that actually fire you up, leveraging what you already know to figure out new words. Second is pace. Consistency beats those giant cram sessions every single time. Just 20 minutes a day is all it takes. And third, place. You need to dial in your environment. Do you focus best in a quiet room with music, morning or night? Figure that out and make sure your toolkit, your pen, highlighter, and notebook is always ready to go.
And when you lock in those 3 Ps, something awesome happens. You kickstart the knowledge flywheel. Your passion drives you to read, right? You bump into new information, you connect it to stuff you already know, and boom, your vocabulary grows. And because you actually get what you're reading now, it's way more fun, which just fuels the fire for more reading. It becomes this massive, self-sustaining loop where learning absolutely never feels like a chore.
Section 3, protocol for unknown words, rules of engagement.
All right, so what do you actually do the second you hit a word you don't recognize? Well, we follow a very strict decision tree. Just ask yourself, am I taking a test right now? If the answer is no, you're in study mode. Grab a dictionary, it's your absolute best friend right now. But if you are in a testing situation and dictionaries are a no-go, you have to flip the switch into investigator mode immediately. That means you are relying 100% on searching the surrounding sentence for clues. Now, to successfully pull off investigator mode, you need to know exactly what a context clue actually is. As our Chapter 1 vocabulary source lays out, these are the words, phrases, and sentences wrapped right around that unfamiliar word. Honestly, they're like the accomplices at a crime scene. They totally give away the suspect's identity, letting you make a super educated guess about what the new word means. Section 4, the context clue constellation, your core framework. Let's map out your actual fieldwork toolkit, the 4 main types of evidence in our context clue constellation. When you hit a roadblock word in the center, you want to immediately scan outward. You're hunting for synonyms, which mean the same thing, antonyms, which are total opposites, details, which act like descriptive breadcrumbs, and appositives, which are basically hidden definitions tucked right into the text itself. Check this out and really let this profound mindset shift sink in. A sentence is a crime scene. The definition is hiding in the surrounding words. You absolutely do not need to panic when you hit a weird word. All the evidence you need to close the case is sitting right there, waiting for you to find it. Seriously, no magnifying glass required. But to spot those clues super fast, you have to memorize their grammatical signals. It's kind of like training your brain to see the matrix. Words like and or similarly are flashing neon signs pointing straight to a synonym. But words like but or although, that's a hard pivot. An antonym is coming. Details? They love to hide out in dates or specific actions. And appositives are almost always perfectly bracketed right between commas. Memorize these triggers and you'll crack the code so much faster.
Section 5, deep dive, decoding clues in the field.
Okay, let's open up the files and look at a mini case. We've got this sentence. The balloon, loose from its string, rose up into the sky, a shiny purple sphere. Say you have no idea what sphere means. Time for the appositive X-ray.
Spot the commas, they act exactly like brackets, handing you the definition on a silver platter. What is the shiny purple thing that got loose? It's the balloon. So, a sphere is a round globular object just like a balloon. Boom, case closed.
Next up, Case Files 007. The text reads, her fashion sense was usually described as flamboyant, but on the night of the party, Tanya's outfit was uncharacteristically modest. Uh-oh, flamboyant is our unknown word. But wait, there's our grammatical flip signal, the word but. That tells us an exact opposite is coming. If her outfit tonight is uncharacteristically modest, her usual flamboyant style must be the total opposite. Therefore, flamboyant for sure means showy or flashy. And finally, let's investigate the word outmoded. The sentence reads, the designer window treatments in her house, installed 17 years ago, were outmoded. Now, we don't have a direct synonym here, no but, to flip the meaning. So we have to follow the detail trail. What are the descriptive breadcrumbs? Well, we see installed 17 years ago. If something in a house is nearly 2 decades old, it's perfectly logical to deduce it's out of date or old-fashioned. Those details lead us straight to the correct definition.
Section 6. Achieving complete reading mastery. Stepping back, this all feeds into what our source calls the grand unified theory of reading. Crafting vocabulary is just step 1. Context clues, the fieldwork we just did, act as your text analysis. They help you figure out what words are. But to get true reading mastery, you combine that with pattern recognition, like analogies. That helps you figure out what words do and how they actually relate to each other. You need both text analysis and pattern recognition to completely solve complex reading passages. So, as a newly empowered reader, what's the big takeaway from this explainer? You now have a daily creed. Rule 1, build that flywheel. Read stuff you genuinely love for 20 minutes every single day. Rule 2, interact, don't just translate. Stop being a passive reader. Get a pen in your hand, mark up the text, really engage with it. And Rule 3, relentlessly interrogate the sentence. If you're stuck in a test without a dictionary, treat the text like a crime scene. Hunt down those synonyms, antonyms, details, and appositives. We have officially cracked the code on Chapter 1 vocabulary, and honestly, this methodology is bulletproof. The tools are completely in your hands now, so the only real question left is, how are you going to apply this detective mindset and interrogate the sentences in your very next reading assignment? The clues are out there waiting. Happy investigating.